So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our morning keynote speaker. Dr. Clint Longenecker is an award-winning educator and one of America's leaders in the area of rapid performance improvement. He is a distinguished university professor and the director for the Center of Leadership and Organizational Excellence in the College of Business and Innovation at the University of Toledo. His teaching, research, and consulting interests are high-performance leadership and creating great organizations. He has been the recipient of over 50 outstanding teaching service and research awards, as well as numerous industry awards, including the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year, Toastmaster International Leadership Award, and the Jefferson Award for Outstanding Public Service, and countless Best Professor recognitions. In addition, he has also recently been recognized by The Economist as one of the top 15 business professors in the world. Please welcome Dr. Clint Longenecker.
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Thank you for that gracious introduction. The bio was written by my 90-year-old mother, truthfully. So it's great to be here today. It's really a privilege to see all of my former students out here and to have a chance to connect with folks. We're going to move very quickly this morning. We are going to pack an hour talk into about 40 minutes, plus or minus a couple. When I first met Matt, I was a year ago, and I was very impressed with him. And it wasn't just the haircut, because guys like us are follically impaired. There's a number of really handsome young men out there as well. But we like to think of ourselves as being streamlined, aerodynamic, if you would, as we move through life. So it's really a privilege to be here. This morning, we're going to talk about slowing down and being still, how important it is to take stock in what we're trying to do. If you look at the lineup that you have coming at you today, some very impressive folks. Randy Ostra, a dear friend for many, many years, is going to come and share some awesome stuff. Dr. Chris Cooper is coming this afternoon. He's going to talk about being you and the importance of being you. You've got a great lineup. You have Jim Howden. You were able to secure Jim Howden, who is a world traveler, a graduate of the University of Toledo, an awesome guy. And his organization, Root, is a remarkable place, one of the top places to work in America. But his demand for his schedule is remarkable. He travels all ends of the world. His client base is a who's who. But this morning, we're going to slow down and talk for 35 minutes about the importance of doing a couple things differently in your life. So I want you to start by thinking of the acronym STOP. So we'll use it as an acronym to get us to, and I want to plant the seed right now, but the goal here is for you to become a better you. And the catch here would be if we race through life, and we've got a lot of runners in this room, a lot of people that are racing, that's good. You've got energy, you've got mojo, you've got excitement, you're ready to change the world, that's awesome. Here's my advice to you. We need to slow down and behave with greater intentionality. It's really important that we take stock, we take time to think every day on a regular basis and slow down. At your tables, everybody needs a blue handout in their hand in the next 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Does everybody have one? Raise it up in the air so I can see just to make sure. All right, well done. If you don't have one, find one. There's one on the table adjacent to you. Okay, let's get started. First order of business. Let me make sure that we have everything working here this morning. Very good. Welcome on behalf of the University of Toledo, and this is part of our campus right here. This is an awesome place to be. We're one of 27 comprehensive universities in America. The business school is now ranked in one of the top 100 business schools in America. The MBA program has gotten a couple nationally recognized awards of late. It's really a fun place. I've been there for 32 years. When I started there, Matt, my nickname was Curly. That's how far back we're going. Some of you might remember that, but I bring it up for this reason. From my experience there, it's kind of the high water mark. It's a great place, a great time to be at the University of Toledo. In particular, the B School right now, a lot of good stuff going on, so let's get started if we could. Our goal, for those of you who do PowerPoint presentations, this is the word think. It's 350 font. It's the greatest number of words letters you can get, characters across the thing, 350 to say how important it is. We need to stop on a daily basis and take time to think about what we're doing, why we're doing it, with who we're doing it, and how we're doing it. Our super old learning objective says this: we want to help you link your use of time with the results you need and the life you want to lead. So we'll come back to that a couple different times, a couple different ways. We are going to do speed interviewing for about 3 minutes. So on page number 2, I want everybody to look at the questions. There are 5 questions on the page. Don't think about writing. You will not have time to write. But I want you to think intellectually about your response to these questions. Number 1, one word to describe yourself. Number 2, who is the best leader you've worked with and what was it that made them the best? Number 3, what's your strongest leadership skill, talent, acumen? Number 4, name one skill you need to improve upon to become more effective as a professional/leader. And then number 5, what's your personal, all-time favorite movie? You have 20 seconds to prepare, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. On your mark, get set, prep. People in the back, too, don't be copying off each other, okay? I always worry about that, the people in the back of the room, you know? Okay, hop up and find a partner, but they cannot be at your table. You have to move around. You have 10 seconds to find a partner. Everybody up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who needs a partner? Raise your hand if you need a partner. Look around. Here we go. All right. Here's how speed interviewing works. You have 30 seconds apiece to share your answers to these 5 questions, which means you must move quickly. In 60 seconds, I will blow the whistle. You'll have 10 seconds to find a new partner. I will count you down. I will blow the whistle. We'll do this 3 times. Are you ready to go? Wait. Are you ready to go? Yes, thank you. Let's go. There's a couple spots around the room in the back. Yep, sure. You have 10 seconds to find a new partner. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does everybody have a partner? Begin. Jump right in. Leslie, pull John in. Pull John in. Pull him into the conversation. Here you go. Thanks. You and I are hand talkers, you know. It's good. No, it's good. Yeah. Ten seconds to find a new partner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Begin. I'm Clint, by the way. Hi.
Emily, it's so nice to
Nice to meet you, Emily. Thanks.
Dan does, yeah.
We're in the center.
Then you know. Grab a seat, everybody. Good. Love people that sit up front. Yeah. Okay, everybody, what happened to the sound level in here, in the room? It started out here. What happened the second round? It got a little louder. Third round, a little louder. Why did it get louder each time? Saying we became more confident and more comfortable, right? And more passionate because we were more free to tell our story. Practice makes perfect for adult learners. All right, number two, what happens to the energy level in the room when you do something like this? It goes up, okay? So what if I would have started out just by talking versus having you get out of your seats and get up and move around a little bit, right? Changes everything. Just one little act, and again, I'm not calling myself a leader. I'm saying, but a little act of leadership changed the whole dynamic of the room in about 4 minutes, right? So it does make a difference. When people make decisions about what to use time and to engage people, it can make a huge difference. Now, the questions are important, but these are questions you're going to carry with you throughout the day. And I would be asking people as you meet people the rest of the day, talk about these questions. One word to describe yourself. And we don't have more time to drill down on this. If we did, you'd find the answers very responsible, very interesting. But of all the things up there, what's a skill you want to improve upon? And by the way, if you just say, I hope I'm a better leader next year, stop. Or I wish I was better with using my time, stop. I wish my listening skills were where they needed to be, stop. If you don't have a plan, it's not going anywhere. If you don't have a goal, it's not going anywhere. So the difference between average leaders and awesome leaders in my travels and my research and my experience is people set a goal, they put together a plan, they execute the plan, and they surround themselves with people who will hold them accountable to a higher standard, if that makes sense. And it doesn't have, for some people, they're natural leaders. The rest of us really have to work pretty hard along the way. But if we have a goal and we don't execute that goal, we have a problem. Now, people always say, what's your personal favorite movie of all time? What difference does that make? Stop. Every awesome movie always is about solving a problem. It's time sensitive, and somebody has to step up and be the leader. It does not matter what movie it is. Unless it's a Clint and Tarantino movie, then all bets are off. But having said that, though, think about it. Every movie, Saving Private Ryan, Braveheart, The Matrix, you'll see leadership front and center in almost every movie you see along the way. So it's really important to stop, and you can use movies as a great instructional time. Now, here's a really important question for the day. Page number 3. Turn there if you would. And here's the question. In the space provided below, write down what you consider to be the 5 most important factors for keeping your career on track and being successful. Because here's my theory. My theory is simple. Every person in this room knows what it takes to be successful. People do know. So right now, on your market set, you have 60 seconds to write. Write down what you would consider to be the 5 most important things for career success, career survival. On your market set, go. Okay. Time. Could you continue to write? Absolutely, possibly true. We are going to strategically select this table right here in the middle of the room. Let's slow clap them in, everybody. They're going to stand up right now. See, you're embracing it. And some people at this table are saying, I didn't want to do this, okay? Some people are embracing it, waving to the crowd. Other people are like, okay, I guess if I have to. And then other people are going, really? Really, Clint, you're going to make me get up? All right, here's what I want you to do. We are going to go to a mega coaching mode. So right now, we're going to go around the room, and you're going to say this, around the table. You're going to say, Clint, if you want to be successful, you need to, and then fill in the blank, okay? All right, so you ready, Martin? You're going to kick us off, but you got to yell. You got to yell really loudly. So you ready to go, Martin? Give me some advice here. Get into the role, man. Come on. No, wait. Clint.
Clint, if you want to be effective, you need to improve communication.
Okay, well said. All right, communication skills. Grab a seat. Go ahead. Bill, fire away.
Clint, if you want to be effective, you need to learn new things.
All right, I need to be a continuous learner. Go ahead.
Clint, if you're going to be successful, you got to keep networking.
Okay, keep networking. Well, can everybody hear? Can you all hear? All right, yell it out nice and loudly. Fire away. Grab a seat. Go ahead. JR.
Clint, if you want to be a great leader,
I do.
start focusing.
Sorry? That was an old focus joke. Okay, grab a seat. All right, very good. Sorry, that was cheap. Okay, here we go.
Clint, if you want to be successful, you got to have confidence.
Got to be confident. Well said, Lindsay. Thank you. Anna.
Clint, if you want to be
Successful.
you need to be motivated.
Motivated to get work done. All right, well said. Thank you. Andy.
Clint, if you want to be successful, you need to take risks.
All right, some risk taking is involved. Good. Elizabeth, the last one. Let's give it up for Elizabeth, everybody. The last one at the table. Woo! Okay, not that there's any pressure now. Okay, go ahead.
Clint, if you want to be successful, you need to be organized.
All right, need to be organized. So let's look at the desktop of your computer and see where we're at. All right, everybody stop. How many people have stuff like that written on your piece of paper in front of you? Most people know what to do. Here's the question. Why are some people really successful where other people maybe struggle? Some people can put together a plan and execute these things where a lot of us know what to do, but we don't necessarily know how to do it. Stop. Leadership 101 starts with you doing the right things. Now watch, I'll prove how smart you are as a group. Follow with me. Turn the page if you would to page 4. Here's the fill in the blank research study. A big sample, 6,000 plus people. We asked them the same question, and here's what we found. The single most important factor for career success and career survival, and especially for a leader, is to have a performance track record of getting desired results. We have to, leaders are in a position. The primary goal of a leader is to deliver desired results the right way at the right time with the right people. So, question number 1, are you and your boss on the exact same page? Does she know exactly what she expects from you? And by the way, vice versa. Have you clarified that relationship point? Are you on the same page? Research shows about 45% are completely confident that they're on the same page with their boss. This is not good, as we say in Haiti, Jethro, ligue ugro problem kunya in Creole. If that's true, if you're not on the same page with your boss, you have a big problem. Did I get it right? Is that okay? Thank you very much. All right. So at the end of the day, this is a pretty important point. Number 2, we have to have awesome and effective communication talents and practices. What's the difference? Talent means you can do it. Practice means you do it. So you've got to have those two things working in concert. We have to be great communicators. Number 3, we have to have strong interpersonal and teaming skills. Translation, we need to be emotionally intelligent. Really, really important. We can connect with anybody. What a great day today to practice that skill set, right? With people around this room, opportunities to walk out of here with 50 new friends, 50 new people that you can connect with along the way. Number 4, possessing and maintaining a positive personality and attitude. I know lots of leaders in the public sector, in the military, in the private sector, entrepreneurs and the like, and I've yet to find one who is like a pessimist, negative soul. That's not, we don't want to follow people who are uber pessimistic. They might be in the spot, but nobody's going to follow them. We might comply, but we're not going to believe in them. So at the end of the day, we have to control our attitude and our personalities and stay positive at every turn. Number 5, the ability to develop yourself. Please make note, the console that I received from the table over here is spot on. Absolutely spot on. Number 6, we need to learn and leverage our work experience. So every experience you have over the course of your lifetime allows you to build on it, to make good decisions and better decisions given what you've already been through, right? if we're thinking. But what happens if you make the same mistake once, twice, 3 times? It's no longer a mistake. What is it? It's who you are. It's a habit. It's who you become. And you'll hear Dr. Chris Cooper talk about that at the end of the day, the importance of really understanding and knowing yourself. Number 7, really an important point. We have to be able to handle pressure and stress and stay poised. We heard Matt say that right out of the gate. That leaders don't complain, leaders don't whine. They're the ones that look for a solution to the problem. And by the way, any professional leadership skill you develop, you will need when you have teenage children. Okay, if you are so fortunate, okay? Those of you who've had teenage children, yes, really leadership becomes front and center at that point. So we have to stay calm and stay poised. It helps us to think more clearly, excuse me. Number 8, we have to have awesome problem-solving and decision-making skills. We need to be highly effective in this regard. Great leaders are problem solvers. Great leaders make wise decisions. Footnote, great leaders surround themselves with people who will help them do so, and that they can share the ownership of the problems and the decisions with those around them. Number 9, the ability to use critical resources and power effectively. A gigantically important point. We have to know what to do with the resources we possess, and I'll tell you what, your most important resource, and you'll figure it out if you haven't already, it will become your time. We'll say people are our most important resource, yes, but if we don't use time appropriately, the people in your life will be shortchanged. They won't get your attention. You won't necessarily listen to them as much as we need to. So this is really an important point. And then last but not least, look at this, number 10. By the way, this is not my opinion. These are empirical findings. We have to have a mentor and or accountability partner who can help us make decisions, move forward, hold us accountable. Do you have an accountability partner? If you're trying to make a change in your life, who is holding you accountable to do so? Most of you know the origin of the word mentor, some of you do not, but mentoring is a serious proposition, very serious. It comes from Greek mythology, from the Odyssey, if you would. Odysseus is the king of Ithaca. He's getting ready to go off and fight in the Trojan War. He knows he's going to be gone for 5 years. He has a teenage kid who's a little bit wild, whose name is Telemachus. I've never met anybody named Telemachus, but kind of a cool name. Hey, Telemachus, what's up? Okay. They call him Telly for short. Footnote, he stops and says, will you raise up my son, train him to think, make him a man of virtue, teach him to be physically disciplined, and teach him the art of war. Oh, by the way, my dear friend, mentor, would you do that for me in my 5-year absence? That's the story. That's the origin. Anybody from Mentor, Ohio? Anybody from Mentor? Usually, here we go. Did you know the story? Now you can go home at Thanksgiving and tell the story of Mentor to everybody, okay? But mentoring is serious stuff. It's not like, hey, would you be my mentor? Okay, let's talk every 2 years. When I have a problem, I'll come see you. Stop. We need somebody that we have a relationship with and it's ongoing. A relationship with and it's regular and it's steady. Now, all these things fit together to say this. It's really important that we have people in our lives to hold us accountable. And if we don't, I would come back and say we're not going to reach our full potential as leaders. Now, with that backdrop, here's a key research finding. We know that extreme and unrelenting busyness can damage and even destroy our effectiveness as leaders. And I'd be willing to ask, if you ask people to say, hey, how busy are you? Well, I'm really busy. And listen to how we talk to each other. How you doing? I'm hanging in there. How you doing? I'm making it. How you doing? I'm surviving. I just got to get to Friday, okay? We talk to each other sometimes like we're on the Bataan Death March in the Philippines in 1941. That's 42. We talk to yes or no, yes or no. All right, so the problem with that is in many cases that means we're moving too quickly. And as you get older, you will even see the pace of life will accelerate when you're not just managing yourself, but your relationship with maybe a significant other, and then all of a sudden kids are there, and the kids get to grade school and high school, and then they get into sports. Your life will not be your own, and you will become uber busy. I'll use your terms, young people, uber busy. Although we've been using the word uber for a very long time. For the students of German know what it really means. So at the end of the day, this is an important point. We have a busyness continuum here, and here's an important point. And this is really to give you a homework assignment for the rest of the day. If you go to one end of the continuum on page 5, see it's not busy. And there's a definition for not busy. And then as you slide on by, then it gets busy. And busy is kind of interesting, an interesting term, if you would. Look what it means, being actively and attentively engaged, a life full of activity, responsibilities, and commitments, and specific effort and attention is required to manage priorities, meet deadlines, and accomplish desired outcomes. Most people in this room are really pretty busy, right? But here's where it gets nuts. Go to really busy. To be fully occupied in a particular activity, committed to something previously planned so we're unable to take on any additional activity, or we're engaged in or characterized by constant, challenging, and ongoing activity. So that means we're really going hard most of the time. But here's where it gets crazy, too busy. Find oneself, look at the words, overcommitted, in a state of constantly having more things to do than can be realistically accomplished, a marked absence of personal time, or being in a constant and unrelenting state of motion. So that means we're probably not in a great spot because we're moving so quickly. A lot of the attributes that we talked about for career success and survival kind of get thrown under the bus, if you would. Now, with that backdrop, I did a program for the Pentagon 2 weeks ago today at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, for 22 senior Army leaders, 1- and 2-star generals. And these are folks who are really under siege right now. Budgets are being cut with the military. There's a lot going on. And these folks have all been on active duty and deployed overseas. And how many veterans do we have in here? Veterans? Put the hands in. Let's give it up. Yeah, thank you for your service. Okay, I know we're a couple days late. You know, it was last week, but I always want to recognize veterans. So one of the people pulled me aside when it was done. His name is Kevin McMillan, and he's a 2-star general, and he's from the great state of Oklahoma. And he said, you know, it's so busy sometimes, I can't find time to think. And I have serious decisions to make along the way. And he works at the Pentagon, very responsible guy. And I said, well, are you taking time to just stop and be still? And this was before we got into the session that we were talking about this. Here's what we find. Most senior and serious leaders find themselves hovering between really busy and too busy. All right, and here's the question. This is the big one. How does being too busy affect you? Do you know yourself well enough, physiologically, emotionally, and intellectually, to know how extreme busyness impacts you? So here you go. Here's a homework assignment on page 6, a 1-minute reading assignment. Page 6, right after page 5. I know we got a few BG alums out there. No, I was teasing. I was just teasing. I was teasing. I had to say something. Everybody that knows me, I had one BG thing. We love BG. We do. Okay. So I want you to take a minute and read the research findings about what happens to all of us when we become too busy. Too busy. Too busy. Now, if you look at this list and you lay this list juxtaposition with the career success and survival findings, again, ligue au gros problème, you have a problem again because they butt up against each other. One says you got to listen, one says I don't. One says I need to make good decisions, one says and solve problems, the other says I really don't want to get too busy. One says I got to build great relationships to be effective, and what happens? The other one says, boy, I really don't want to get too busy. So this, for most senior leaders, and when you meet a senior leader, say, talk about your schedule. What's your schedule like? To get Randy Oster here, to get Jim here, to get Dr. Cooper here. These folks' schedules are nuts. No question. Everybody on that list, their schedule is absolutely positively nuts. When Matt came to me back in almost a year, March, a year ago, this is coming up, he asked me to come. I'm always jumping this. I'm a Toledo person. I went to Central Catholic High School. Any Central alums out there? Here we go. I got in before they had admission standards. So at the end of the day, I love Toledo. I've been here 32 years. My wife Cindy's from Toledo. I love this town. By the way, you're the future of this town. You're the future of this town by the things that we do in this room. Maybe we can help somebody make a difference. It's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference and have a multiplying effect. But if we don't control our schedules and act and live with great intentionality, we're not going to be able to do the things we want to do, and we won't have the lives that we're hoping for. Now, with that backdrop, your observations on this list, this is the all ugly list, yes or no? So safe to say we're not at our best when we're really running fast through life, right? All right, so the question is this. Look at that list. It's all crazy stuff. What is a person to do? Now, the solution is the homework assignment I'm about to give to you. So in all the grand scheme of things, I want you to turn the page, if you would, and go to the next page. And there's an acronym on this page, STOP. And here, I want you to look at the words very quickly. You're going to read this. You're going to fill it in on your own. It's really important that we learn how to sit and be still. It's really important that we learn how to think through what we're trying to do and why we're doing it. It's really important that we would learn how to optimize our use of time and our relationships with people. And finally, now let's throw the switch and let's perform. Let's execute, if you would. Now, there's two kinds of stops. One's a strategic stop, and the other is a daily stop. Now, in the grand scheme of things, and this is kind of important, I'll sprint through these and just go right to the spot. Here's what we found. If we can get people to do a strategic stop and get on the same page, and if you would, turn the page if you would. And you see these lessons that are on the next page, on page 8. All right, so lesson 1, so why are we so busy? All right, lesson 2, how does being busy affect you? Lesson 3, you need to make a strategic stop and answer these very specific questions for yourself, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we know what results we're being paid to deliver. That's what leaders do. We take the time to identify the activities that are going to help us get at those results, that we invest our time ever so wisely, and that we target relationships to build upon. So it's not a random thing. And so I would submit to you that if you find a good leader, he or she is going to pick out people that they need to get to know in this community or in their organization, and they're going to target time and reach out to that person, not randomly, but systematically, to build that relationship. And if you look at 5, 6, 7, 8, these are all questions to get at. This is where improvement's going to come from. You say, well, all right, Clint, where are we going with this? Between now and next week, homework assignment, have a strategic stop with yourself and answer these questions. Pull your boss into the discussion. Pull your accountability partner into the discussion. Because here's what we found. If we can get a person to sit down and do a strategic stop and a daily stop on a regular basis, the quality of their work, the quantity of their work, quality relationships, desired outcomes, and their satisfaction with work and life goes up. Low end, 12%, high end, 32%, the average about 21.8%. So who doesn't need a 21.8% bump in your performance? Anybody? Raise your hand if you don't need that. All right, I don't think we found anybody in that category. So I want to stop right now and say this. If you look at having a daily routine of slowing down, and turn if you would to the final page. See at the top of the page it says, I'm sorry, my bad, on page 9 if you would. Top of the page, see the rule of 15, 5, and 5. This is my closing comment. The rule of 15, 5, and 5 is very straightforward. Each day, sit down for 15 minutes and map your day. Put together a performance script. Now, how many people here are list people? Hands of list people. Look around the room. All right, good. What's good about a list? You can check stuff off. It's always the first exam. In fact, why do we put that list together? So we will be more efficient. But when we think of something that we just did that wasn't on the list, we take the time, we waste the time to write it down on the list. And then what do we do together? We scratch it off. Why? Because it feels so good. It's true. Now, footnote, lists actually give the illusion of organization. So it's true, because what do? We randomly dump everything down. And I learned this from my awesome wife, Cindy, of 28 years, 11 months, and 2 days, okay? So we've been together for a bit here. She said, look, I'd come home from work and say, I didn't get anything. How was your day? I didn't get anything done today. Well, yeah, you got lots of stuff. You didn't get done what you felt like you needed to get done. So if I make a map what I got, by the way, we know how to do this. We do vacations. How efficient are you 2 days before vacation? You are a machine. You go because you do not want to leave with the sword of Damocles dangling over your head. We say no, yes, I'll get to this meeting, but we're exceptionally organized. Then what happens? We come back after being gone for a week or two, and the place is blown up. We go right back to the old behavior. Write your performance script, and here's what you do. Halfway through your day, take a 5-minute timeout. Every sport, virtually under the sun, has a halftime where you take a break. Look at where you're at against your organized list with priorities attached, with time frames attached. It will change it. If you can follow the directions on pages 8 and pages 9. It can have a transformational effect on your ability to get stuff done both personally, professionally, and as a leader. So if I had more time, we could drill down on this, but I promised Matt that we would be done at exactly now, and it is exactly now, everybody. So wait, don't move. I'm going to throw one last thought here. I'm going to jump real quick through all this. Very quickly, here we go. Don't anybody move. Is anybody moving? I can't tell, I'm looking. This is an important point. Look what Socrates said. The ongoing challenges of life mandates applying all our wisdom to daily situations, lest we fall prey to our own folly. We have to apply wisdom that we know is true based on our experience and the experience we've accumulated over a course of our lifetime. Otherwise, we fall prey to our own folly or foolishness. You will not remember what Socrates said. Hop out of your seats right now. Everybody up, real quick. Real quick, everybody up. I think you will remember more so what John Wayne said. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I'll say it. You say it. Life is tough. But it's tougher if you're stupid. Scream it out. Life is tough. But it's tougher if you're stupid. I want you to look at a person at your table and say this to them right now. Go ahead. Okay, everybody. Give yourself a big round of applause. Last comment. Great leaders learn. We apply what we know to be true, and we don't do, come on, stupid stuff. We take our very best steps to avoid that. God bless you. Have an awesome day of learning. And I just want to say this for the record book for next Friday. Go Rockets.
Good job, man.